This is the American Express Gold, and this video is my honest review after having had the card for 6 years. Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel in another segment of What Card Wednesday. For our new viewers out there, my name is John of John's Finance Tips. Now some of you might not know it, but long before I started creating content on The Talk or making any YouTube videos, I was an absolute credit card nerd. And even though I am today still, maybe not as obsessive, but still very much in the credit card game, of the 50 cards or so I've opened since 2016, I've closed over 90% of them. Because for a card to make it past year one with me, it's gotta demonstrate some crazy outsized value. And I'm happy to report to you that the American Express Gold is one of those very cards. Kinda. Technically. All right, we're gonna get into it. So in today's video, we're talking about the American Express Gold. We're gonna talk about the sign-up bonus, its earning potential, the benefits, the annual fee, and of course, my final verdict. If you have any questions at all, you know where to drop them. And again, if you're interested in supporting my channel, guys, feel free to use any of my affiliate links down below. So very quickly, wanna clear the air. Yes, technically I have the American Express Gold. However, we did also technically break up, and I did actually cancel the card at one point. So we go back to 2016, I'm getting into the credit card space, I'm signing up left, right, center, we're getting all these sign-up bonuses. Guess what? I applied for the Amex Gold. However, at the time, it was called the American Express Premier Rewards Gold. It wasn't that great of a card. I just wanted the sign-up bonus. Got the sign-up bonus, and promptly 13 months later, I canceled the card and I moved on with my life. However, in 2018, American Express rebranded, revamped, relaunched the Gold, and guess what? The card slapped. Now, I didn't jump on it right away, but in 2020, I reopened the card. Didn't get another sign-up bonus again because with American Express, you can only get one bonus per lifetime. There are theories floating around that they think it's once every 7 to 10 years in the credit card ecosystem. But regardless, Amex has one bonus per lifetime. I did not get another sign-up bonus. I got the card purely from the earnings perspective. Cool. Now that we're caught up on the history, let's dive into the card. Sign-up bonus. This is going to range anywhere from 60,000 to 75,000 points after spending roughly about $4,000 in the first 6 months or so. You can also see targeted offers at 90,000 points, though you're not always guaranteed to find them every time. Some of the methods that have worked for folks trying to get a 90,000 point offer is using a referral from somebody who currently has an Amex Gold, or checking through cardmatch.com or opening an incognito browser. So on its surface, a 60 to 75,000 point sign-up bonus offer for a card of this caliber, I'd say it's pretty middle of the pack. If you can find something for 90,000 points, I would jump on that any given day. But considering that's not publicly available for everybody, so I would say for a sign-up bonus, the American Express Gold gets 4 out of 5 JFTs. Next, we have earnings. This card will earn 4 membership reward points per dollar spent at restaurants. It will earn 4 points per dollar spent at grocery stores with a limit of $25,000 of spend per year. Not saying you can't spend more than that, but you will only earn 4 points per dollar spent on the first $25,000 in the grocery segment. You will earn 3 points per dollar spent when you book airfare either directly with the airline or through Amex Travel, and you'll earn 1 point per dollar spent everywhere else. Now taking a look, I would say this is pretty impressive. Basically, if you are somebody who consumes food, these earnings buckets kind of make sense. However, in my opinion, it would have been nice to see something maybe a little bit more travel oriented, let's say 3 points per dollar spent on travel, or a 2 point per dollar catch-all, or even on the old Premier Rewards card, there was a 2 point per dollar spent for gas. So for that, I'm gonna have to ding it a bit, and we're gonna come in at a 4 out of 5 JFTs. Next up, let's move on to benefits. Now, benefits, I honestly think is where this card shines the most. I'd say earnings is great too, but the benefits really kick it up a notch. So the first benefit you're gonna get from this card is a $120 dining credit. This is split out over 12 months, meaning you get $10 per month. Now you can use them at a good number of places. The one that I personally really would recommend is Grubhub, but you can also use it at Milk Bar, you can use it at select Shake Shack locations, you can use it at wine.com if that's what you're about. But overall, it's gonna be $10 a month, aggregate $120 a year for dining. You'll also have a $120 Uber credit, which can be used for Uber Eats or rides. And similarly to the dining credit, it's gonna be split out as $10 per month of credits. Of course, this card offers you transfer partners. So in the membership reward program, you can transfer to a whole slew of airlines as well as hotels. The ones that I personally would take a look at are, say, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, as well as Flying Blue. With British Airways, you have a ton of flexibility on how you want to use the points. Now, because they are on a distance-based map, you can get some pretty good availability if you're doing short flights, whether it be domestically in the US or obviously over in Europe. What I like to do is looking at more of the premium configurations, flying say from North America to Doha on Qatar Airways Q suites. Instead of paying that $5,000 or $6,000, you can get away with 70,000 British Airways Avios and about $150 or so in taxes and fees. Another great transfer partner is Virgin Atlantic. Now, Virgin Atlantic I think is cool because Virgin Atlantic you can use to book flights on All Nippon Airways. All Nippon Airways has some of the best business and first class experience, period. I flew on their old first class 777 and it was such an incredible experience. Would I do it again? Probably not. I think business is good enough. But anyway, the challenge with flying on ANA is the fact that if you use ANA miles, you have to book round trip. Getting a round trip business ticket is difficult. However, if you use Virgin Atlantic, you can actually just book one ways. So instead of having to go New York, Tokyo round trip, you could just go New York to Tokyo in business, which is I think easier to find than New York, Tokyo round trip to business class seats. So put another way, the sign-up bonus from an American Express Gold could easily get you one way over to Tokyo using Virgin Atlantic miles, booking on ANA for anywhere between 45,000 to about 47,000 one way. Keep in mind, Virgin Atlantic does pass on all of the taxes and fuel surcharges that ANA would levy, which can get a little bit steep, a couple $100, so you want to be mindful of that as well. But again, that's the only way that you're going to be able to book one way on an ANA flight versus having to do a round trip booking. The third program I want to turn your attention to is Flying Blue. This is comprised of Air France as well as KLM. This is a good option if you want to be flying from, let's say, the continental US over to Hawaii, or if you're looking for a more premium configuration, business class of East Coast over into Europe as well. This card also offers purchase protection, which is pretty cool. So basically, if you buy an item using your American Express Gold and the item gets stolen, damaged, or lost, it'll actually cover you for up to $10,000 per item and up to $50,000 of coverages per year within 90 days of purchase. So let's say you buy an AirPod and you're going out for a jog and it falls out and I don't know, you can't find it. Well, if you bought it with an Amex Gold and it's within 90 days, you can file a claim with Amex and they will actually basically give you your money back for it. The loss portion of this purchase protection is what's most attractive to me. This card also offers another credit in the form of a hotel experience credit. So you'll get a $100 hotel experience credit if you book a minimum of 2 nights using the hotel collection through Amex Travel. Is this the best way to book hotels? I think there are certainly better ways, but if for whatever reason you're looking for this experience credit and the rates kind of balance out with what you're gonna find on an OTA, then sure, it's perfectly fair to book through Amex Travel. Overall, as I look at all of the benefits, I think the two that I'm most attracted to are the dining as well as the Uber credit at $240. I will give it a slight ding because it's kind of aggravating that the dining is quote unquote split up between say Grubhub and Uber Eats, and you're getting it as $10 increments every single month over 12 months. So overall, I would say for benefits, this card gets a 4 out of 5 JFTs. The last segment we have is annual fee. This card comes in with a whopping $250 annual fee. Yikes. But remember, we've got credits. We've got a $120 dining credit and a $120 Uber credit. So there's $240 worth of, let's say, total eating credits against a $250 annual fee. Effectively, you're only paying $10 a year for this card. And remember, the earnings rate is 4 points per dollar spent on grocery or 4 points per dollar spent on dining out. Well, if you just spend $250 in either category, this card, it's a free card. You basically have broken even on the card. And so for that, I would say at a $10 effective annual fee, the American Express Gold gets a 5 out of 5 JFTs. Overall, if we tally it up, this card gets a 17 out of 20 JFTs. And so who exactly is this card for? I would say if you are someone, especially living in an urban area where you are doing the Grubhubs, you're doing the Uber Eats, this card is absolutely for you. If you are somebody who buys groceries and you want to earn some points on that, this card is for you. If you're somebody who's, somewhat into travel, you're starting to get more travel curious, you want a mid-tier travel card, this is gonna be the card for you from the sign-up bonus perspective, also from the earnings perspective, because at the end of the day, everyone's gotta eat. I would say though, if you're looking for a more premium travel card, you want some lounge benefits, then I would go up a tier and take a look at the Venture X. If you're also not quite willing to dedicate all the time to extract out the dining credits at $240 and go down a tier, take a look at at the Built MasterCard as a no annual fee travel card. And if you're comparing this versus the American Express Platinum, only get the Platinum for the sign-up bonus, but if you're on a one-to-one comparison, this card's gonna give way more value as long as you're spending money eating out. So this has been an incredible video. Thank you all for joining me today. If you're interested in any of the cards I talk about, feel free to check out my affiliate links down below. And let me know, do you have the American Express Gold? Is this a card that you're keeping into next year? And I will catch you on the next video. Peace.